Today's vinyasa flow is 4 arm balances and 1 flow. Let's start off on our backs. Lying down, feet as wide as the mat, knees rest in towards each other, constructive rest pose, hands wherever you like, lowest part of your belly, one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Allow the support of the ground and the support of your breath to help you settle into yourself. As you reflect on anything that keeps you feeling stuck, that feels heavy on your heart or on your mind. All right, letting go of any stuff you often hear, letting go of the stuff that keeps you from flying. I also like to add in as a step or a step before, letting go of any of the stuff that keeps you from trying. Letting go of self-limiting thoughts, stories about what you can and cannot do. A couple of the P's, letting go of perfecting, performance, and pleasing. Invite in a sense of playfulness and curiosity, or whatever else you could think of that keeps you from trying, keeps you from flying. And accepting the support, internal support of your breath, so that your muscles don't need to grip or work over time. Softening your faces, especially the corners of your eyes and the corners of your mouth. And remembering to meet yourself where you are. Any bit of the shape of the posture is the posture. Slowly releasing your hands by your sides. And we'll address some key areas today. A lot of the hips, because arm balancing is pretty much hip openers, but on your hands. So a little windshield wiper side to side to ease your way into your hips. And then let's bring it to center, knees together, toe heel your feet together. Take your hands to your frontal hip points and soften the belly and ribs down. So best you can, keeping your pelvis and your torso still. Exhale, right knee in towards your chest, so wake up the core just a little bit. And on your inhale, lower your right foot down, then left leg. And lower down. So it's a lot of hips and some core, and we'll address the upper body in a bit. 2 more times each side. And we'll meet with the right knee in and the left knee in towards your chest. Then lift your heels from your bottom and knees over your hips. And you might feel the core lighting up a little bit more here. Take your hands to the front of your thighs and press your hands and thighs together. You might feel a little bit more juice, a little bit more waking up to the core for 3, press them together, 2 and 1. Keep your knees over your hips and extend your arms out into a T position. And then inhale, lower your knees to the right. Stay here or extend your left leg to the right. So also warm up the outer hips and our hamstrings, bending the top knee and using the strength of your core, knees to center. Same side, right side again, reach and extend and bend the knee and hug it in. 3 more times like that. Rhythm of your own breath, keeping the shoulder blades heavy. You can turn your gaze the opposite direction. So we're getting our hips and our core here. Getting familiar with this twisty shape so we could bring it into other postures today. Let's meet with the knees to the right. Look at your left fingertips. Now we address the upper body, especially the thoracic spine. Curl your left fingertips in, bend the left elbow, and then slide your left hand across your chest. Reach past your right fingertips, and a big floppy circle around, opening up through the shoulders. 4 more times like that. Rhythm of your own breath. Reach. freeing up our wings, our shoulder blades. We're inviting in a sense of mobility and adaptability in which to build our strength. And we'll have like a bottle and block party too. And the last round. Linger in the supine twist for another 3, 2, and 1. Shoulder blades heavy to the ground, sides of the waist to the ground. Bring your knees to center. Other side, lower to the left. And you could extend your right leg to the left, reach through the heel, bend the knee, and hug it in. Let's do that 4 more times, 4 to 5 more times. Reach and extend, bend, finding your center. Best you can, initiate the movement of the knees back to center using your core rather than your knees. That way you'll be supporting your lower back. Meeting with the knees to the left. Keeping both knees bent, look over at your right fingertips. Curl the fingertips in, so you're doing wrist flexion. This is also a prep for arm balancing. Bending your right elbow, slide your right hand across your chest, reach past your left fingertips in a big floppy circle around. Feel free to take up lots of space, about 4 more times. We're also mapping out our bodies with touch, especially from the heart, reaching through the fingertips and sweeping it around. 1 or 2 more times. Linger in this T shape with your arms. Breathe into the back of the waist, sides of the waist as much as the front for 3, 2, and 1. Using the core, bringing your knees on up to center. Cactus arms. And extend your legs up to the sky. Knees can be bent if you need. And thigh bones straight up and down from your hips. Some dynamic core to warm up the inner thighs as well. Lower your legs wide, so like a wide-legged straddle, but on your back. And like a little ballet dancer on your back. You can point your toes if you want. Cross right leg in front and then left. Like a little pulse. And then open your legs wide again. Flex your feet. And then point. And you can alternate which leg is in front. Okay. A little bit more challenge. You can start to lower your legs further away from your chest. And only going as far as you can keep your belly and ribs softening down and you don't feel pulling in your lower back. So you might lower down to 45 degrees. Again, meet yourself where you are. And with arm balancing and also core strengthening, it's important to have a balance of ease with the effort. So notice what's going on with your face, soften your face. Soft face practice as much as it is a strengthening practice. And then make your way back on up to center for another 2 more. And 1 more. And we'll meet, hugging the knees in. Give yourself a hug. Keep your right knee in and lower your left foot down to the ground. Right leg straight up to the sky. Interlace your hands behind your head. Reaching the right heel up. And as you exhale, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up and left shoulder towards the right knee. Keep your head in your right hand and reach your left arm to the outside of your right leg. And begin to lower and lift your right leg up. Now you can stay there with the left foot on the ground or extend your left leg to hover over the ground. This will be becoming familiar with this shape to take into our arm balancing as well for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bending both knees. You can hug them into your chest and we'll switch sides. Right foot on the ground. Left leg straight up to the sky. Interlace your hands behind your head. Inhale, and as you exhale, you're curling up, right shoulder towards your left knee, and also the right side of your ribs, bottom rib to the left hip there. Reach your right arm to the outside of your left leg, and then lower and lifting. About like a total of 8 You can stay here or extend your right leg to hover. And breathe. Soften your eyeballs and your face. 3, 2, and 1. Mindful as you can. Release, hug it in. Nice work. 5 rock and rolls, forward and back. 5 rock and rolls, with or without hands. You can pat the ground for a little bit more functional core work. Oh, yeah. And we'll make our way into a tight little cosmic ball for some boat-like, half-boat jellyfish core. So you'll curl inward, round through the spine, shoulders from your ears. Lift your feet to hover over the ground. So you're balancing on your sitting bones. And like a jellyfish, like a half boat, take up space. And then bring it in. Do that about 4 or 5 times. On breath. The good news is that you don't have to do many of these to feel them. So throughout the arm balancing, we practice this hugging in towards midline. Yeah. Acknowledging your center. Woo! And then feet down. Hug the shins in and lift and lengthen the spine. Nice. Good stuff. Core's fired up. Cross it ankles or sweep the feet around, hands and knees. We'll be so happy to come to the wrist and give our core a break. Prep your wrist. Graded exposure for the wrist, really important before arm balancing. Wrist extension, and then change the angle in which you place your hand and linger there for a moment. So you might be rotating into external rotation as the fingertips face towards your knees, and then internal rotation. Meet yourself where you are. Weird. Making weird shapes. Yeah, good. Let's meet center. Wrist flexion. So you flip onto the back of your hands. You may need to bring the knees closer to your fingertips, shoulders from your ears, hands about shoulder width apart, and make fist. Yeah, open and close. A couple of times. Good. And now you can bring the fingertips to face in towards each other, and same thing. Shoulders from the ears. You can even bend the elbows and straighten like a little push-up. And then on your fingertips and on your knuckles. So this will be the last one. Nice, and then slowly release. Stand on your knees, circle your wrists. Woo, good stuff. Shake them out. Hands and knees for a couple cat-cows. Rhythm of your own breath, whatever variation you like. You can even play around with the breath. You can round through the spine on your inhale. Exhale, melt the heart, spine to the ground. And a couple cycles, a couple of hip circles around. And bring it to center, curl your toes under. Let's warm up the feet, round through the spine. Bring your hips back. 3 more times. Inhale forward into tabletop. Round the spine and bring the hips back. Own breath. Neutral, round. Make sure when you round the spine, that you're also tilting the pelvis back as well. Neutral spine. Either walk the knees back a little bit or walk the wrists slightly forward in front of the shoulders, downward facing dog. Finding your tigress pause. Good. Let's meet with a bent knee down dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and grip the mat slightly with your finger pads. So you're drawing energy up from the center of your palms, center of your elbows, center of your shoulders to the base of your heart. And then send that energy back on down into your hands as you lift your outer hips up. Let the 4 sides of your neck lengthen out of your shoulder girdle. And feel free to straighten one leg now as you bend the other, alternating. And then walk the feet wide and walk your hands back to meet your feet. Let's keep a wide stance here, but like downward dog, upper bodies. Staying up on your fingertips. Bring more weight back into your heels, sink the hips back and keep the armpits lifted. Relax the head. And you can press down through the feet, lengthen the legs a little bit, but keep pulling the mat energetically apart with your feet. For 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Walk the hands all the way back. Toe heel your feet in or hip width distance apart. And roll it up. Press through the feet. Belly flies in and up. Head is the last thing to come on up. All right, let's walk to the top of the mat. Feet in or hip width distance apart. Let's do some cat-cow standing. Bending your knees, place your hands to the tops of your thighs or your knees. And then as you pull the hands back, open up through the chest and exhale round through the spine. 2 more times like that. Maintaining awareness of your feet. And then finding neutral, standing, and lifting up. More wrist prep and side body prep. Interlace your fingers and press your palms in front. Press down through your feet, armpits up, plug the arm bones back into your shoulder sockets, armpits of power. Then lift the palms up and then press down through your feet. Get longer from your outer hips all the way up to your armpits. Get longer from your inner elbows all the way up to your hands. Best you can, pressing evenly thumb side and pinky side up. So you're squeezing your arms in. Press to your feet, lean to the right side. Good. Come back on up and lean to the left. And one more time, each direction. Lean and center. And we'll do it one more time, but this time linger. Press to the feet and make sure you're not collapsing through your heart. Spin the back of the chest to the sky. And allow it to not just be your arms going, but also your spine. And you can even allow your hips to shift to the other direction. For 3, 2, and 1. Come back on up. And the other side. So make sure this is just my arms doing it. This is my spine. And then add the hips. Oh, yeah. Getting in the nook and crannies now. For 3, 2, 1. Lift up. You can separate the hands, maybe a little back bend. And exhale. Let's fold. Fold forward. Let that go. Let the contents of your brain drip down. Again, letting go of anything that keeps you from trying and flying. Halfway lift. Long spine. Whatever variation you like. Exhale, hands on the ground. Step back into plank pose. High push-up position. So plugging the arm bones into the shoulder sockets, shoulder blades down the back. Press the hands down, hug the thumbs in, broaden your chest forward, maybe even shift the weight a little bit more forward as you lower down, maybe with your knees first, forehead down. You can do locust or cobra pose. Tops of the feet pressed down, pubic bone down, sides of the waist back, curling up, back of the neck nice and long, and exhale, lowering down. Curl your toes under, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Finding your downward facing dog, pedal it out. So we'll start to build a flow that will sprinkle in between some hip opening and arm balancing. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and step your right foot forward. We'll come into a crescent lunge. So press down through the right heel, root down, lift up, sides of the waist back. Twist to the right as you open up your arms, hug your legs in towards each other. Crescent lunge, finding center, inhale. And as you exhale, think up as you lower the left knee down towards the ground. You can keep the back toes curled under or top of the foot, doesn't matter. Lift up, inhale, and as you exhale, twist to the right, hands to the heart, twisting to the right. So you hook your left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Then be mindful that you're not collapsing, press away. So press the left elbow down, lift your heart up to your thumbs. And right elbow towards the sky for another 3, 2, 1. Hug the legs together, sweep your arms on up, and then exhale, hands down to the ground. Fingertips could stay or hands could be flat. Lift the left knee up and lift the right arm up. You could have your left hand on the ground or a block. And then flip your right palm forward, Right bicep over your right ear. Make sure you're not collapsing through that left leg. Lift the top of left thigh bone up. Pull the outer right hip back as you spin your chest more to the sky. So spinning with your ribs, right bicep over your right ear. Turn your right pinky down to the ground. Yeah, good. And your next exhale, slowly release your hands down in downward facing dog, hips up and back. Let me sprinkle that flow in today. Lift your heels, bend your knees, left foot forward on your exhale. Finding crescent lunge. Lifting up, hug the shins in towards each other, and twist. Couple cycles of breath for the first round. Then sweep the left arm up, finding your center on your inhale. And as you exhale, lower the back knee down. You come on to the top of the back foot if that feels good to you. Inhale, lift and lengthen the side body. Exhale, keep the length, hands to the heart and twisting to the left. Inhale, expand, get nice and long through the spine, and exhale, twist. Keep hugging the front foot to back knee as you inhale, reach the arms up to center. And as you exhale, lower your hands down. Lift the back knee, lift the left arm up to the sky, inhale. And as you exhale, left palm forward, left bicep over left ear. Pull that outer left hip back, inhale, find length through the spine, exhale, twist a little bit more deeply. And then slowly lower both hands down to the ground, and then downward facing dog, hips up and back. Find your suction cup-like hands. Lift your right leg up to the sky and turn the left side of your pelvis to the right. So then the hips begin to open up. Tent up onto your right fingertips. Bend your right knee, right heel towards your bottom. And we'll twist a little bit to the right. Bring your tailbone more towards the front plane of your body as you hug your right heel in towards the right side of your seat for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing, right foot to the ground. Other side, left leg lifts. Right side of your pelvis turns to the left. Come onto your left fingertips. Bend your left knee, left heel towards your bottom, and bring your tailbone more to the front plane of your body. So it is an active hip opener for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and step your right foot forward. And then walk your hands to the left. So you make your way into a wide-legged straddle here. So a wide-legged straddle. For this variation, place your hands underneath your shoulders. Press the feet down, shift the weight more forward into your toes, and straighten the arms, coming into a halfway lift. As you exhale, the elbows point straight back as you press the hands down and fold. 2 more times like that. Inhale, press to the feet and hands, lengthen the spine in a halfway lift. And exhale, bend the elbows straight back. Keep the shoulders lifting away from the ears. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Keep those legs strong, pulling up from the inner thighs, especially the inner knee. And come into a halfway lift. Tent up onto your fingertips. Spin your heels in, toes out, bend the knees, and then take your hands to your thighs. They come upright into like a horse pose. And with the breath, a little movement side to side. Yeah, side to side. Pressing through the outer feet, especially. So it's as if you're hugging the outer knees to the outer hips for another 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the legs. Reach your arms out. Warrior 2 to the front of the mat, original front. Sweep the hands down, step it back into downward facing dog. A little different transition. Lift your heels, bend your knees. Take your left knee to the outside of your left wrist into half pigeon pose, pigeon prep. I know, I didn't see that one coming. Look over your right shoulder, make sure the right leg is pointing straight back. And then hug front knee to back knee. Fingertips can rest on the ground or blocks, or let them hover for a breath or 2. We won't be here too long. So the back toes are curled under for this variation. Yeah. And then slowly walk your hands forward. You can allow the legs to lengthen away from each other, top of the back foot if you want, fingertips wide. Inhale, press down, lift the chest, and as you exhale, elbows bend wide and fold inward, but shoulder blades to the back of the heart. 3 more times, press down, inhale. So it's like a wave up and a wave down. 3 more times, own breath. Pressing the ground away with your fingertips, elbows wide, collarbones broaden. It's like cobra. It's like a cobra roll up. And then you're gonna place your hands on the ground, curl the back toes under. Okay, switch however way you want, or you could do a hop switch. So you get like a little bit bouncy, you push off the front knee. Okay, for fun, and then transition the other way, depending how bouncy you feel right now. And then hug front knee to back knee, and hug in. Yeah, this is surprisingly a lot more challenging than you would expect. And press down, good. So you're lifting the frontal hip points for 3, 2, 1. Fingertips down, and lengthen the leg bones evenly away from each other. Good, and then you can bring the fingertips more forward and wide, fold inward, and self-acknowledgement and respect. And then from that place, press down and open up through the heart like a cobra. 3, rolling down and up. This dance of looking inward and self-acknowledgement, and then offering and expanding from that place of acknowledging your center. And then we'll make our way. You don't have to do the hop switch. Downward facing dog, hips up and back. Pedal it out. Bring your feet together. We'll do something called squatty dog. Squatty dog. So you squat back, bring the knees wide, hips back, press the hands down and forward. It looks like this. And then we'll float forward into plank pose. So the hands, try to find a position with the hands that they stay where they are. Yeah. We'll do that 3 more times. 2. And 1 more. Now keep looking at your right foot. Keep looking back as you shift the weight forward. Bring the right foot to the outside of the right hand, but keep looking back. And then bring it back. And the same thing with the left foot. So you keep looking back as you bring your left foot forward. Don't look forward. Yeah, do that 1 more time each side. Keep looking back until the foot lands in front, and then offer your chest and look forward. So only after the foot lands to the outside of the hand, look forward. Yeah. It might make it more accessible to bring the foot forward if you keep looking back until it lands and then look forward. And then we'll meet with both feet forward into squatting frog. Yay. Bring your hands to your heart if that's accessible to you. Okay, or you can stay up high. And then we'll take a twist. So right fingertips in front of right toes, left arm up. You can also use blocks underneath your tush if you need. And switch. Gather whatever props you need, resources. Bring the ground closer. Bring the hands to the heart. Now place your hands in front. This is going to be more with like a cow-like spine or more like a neutral spine. Snuggle your knees to the outside of your shoulders and then begin to shift the weight forward. Make sure the wrist creases are facing forward. Hug your knees into your elbows or your shoulders. Bring your heart forward, broaden through your collarbone. So hug the thumbs together, press the ground away, broaden through the collarbones. Begin to reach your heart forward and reach your booty back as equal amount as you can. Then you can flex 1 foot and lift the toes and the other. Reach your heart forward as much as you're reaching your booty back for 3, 2, yay, and 1. Slowly releasing. Best wide-legged straddle ever. Forward fold, sway side to side. Let that go. Press it back into squatty dog. Bend the knees. So you'll bring your feet together. Bend your knees, and this time walk your hands all the way back. If you need, you could place a blanket or rolled mat underneath your heels. Mine don't come all the way down. Okay, and then knees wide. And then walk your hands forward. So it's a different prep. So for this prep, so you could bring your heels on a rolled blanket. Feet together. Yeah. and knees wide. So you're gonna bring your arms to the inside. If your heels come down to the ground, that's great. Mine don't. Good, reaching forward, so this is a variation of lolasana. This variation of crow pose is more cat-like back. Okay, walk the hands back. Now the key for a lot of the arm balancing is to lift your hips higher than your elbows. So I'm gonna lift my hips higher than my elbows, walk the hands back until my knees are as close to my triceps as I can. Now make sure your fingertips are facing forward, wrist creases facing forward. Good, now lift your hips higher than your elbows. And for this one, I'm gonna round more. So I'm gonna tuck my tailbone round the spine. And the same action that we've done, hug your heels in towards your bottom one, and then the other if you want. But hug the thumbs together, press the ground away. Stay here, or you can lift both of them. But press the ground away and hug your heels in, drop the tailbone, round the spine for 3, 2, and mindfully as you can, releasing towards. Even the setting, first of all, your hips have to be agreeable to this shape. And then sitting up and having the toes down is a tremendous amount. Good, now you're gonna walk the hands forward. Make your way into down dog. Rest in the familiar here. Pedal it out. Okay, regular downward facing dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees. Right foot steps forward, so we'll do that flow. Coming into a high lunge. Lifting on up. Inhale, exhale, and twist to the right. And inhale, center. And exhale, lower the back knee down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hands to the heart, twist to the right. Inhale, expand, stay here. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center, lift the arms up. And exhale, hands to the ground. Left knee lifts, right arm lifts. Inhale. And exhale, right bicep over right ear. Inhale, press the ground away, expand. Exhale, twist a little bit more deeply. And then slowly release your hands. Downward facing dog, hips up and back. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees. And left foot steps forward. Crescent lunge, reach up, inhale. And twist to the left, exhale. Inhale, crescent. And exhale, lower the back knee down. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, ground and lengthen. Exhale and twist. Inhale, sweep the arms up, hug front foot to back knee, and exhale, hands to the ground. Right knee lifts, left arm lifts, twist. Exhale, left bicep over left ear, left pinky side down. Inhale, outer left hip back, lengthen to the spine. Exhale, twist. And slowly releasing both hands down to the ground and downward facing dog. Inhale, squatty dog. Bring the hips back, feet together, hips back. Keep looking back as you step your right foot, the outside of your right hand, and then look forward. Open up through the heart. Okay, spin your right toes out slightly. You can lower the back knee down or keep it lifted. And you're gonna come down to the forearms or stay on your hands and flex the right ankle and fall more onto the outer edge of your right foot. So back knee down. You could also be on blocks if you need. Good, allowing the right hip to open up to the right, but mindful that you're not dumping into that left hip. So if the left knee is lifted, left thigh bone lifts, and breathe, broaden through the collarbones. Yeah. Don't let all this hip opening and exploration diminish your inner light. For another 3, 2, and 1. Mindfully as you can. Hands back, step it back into squatty dog. And keep looking back, step your left foot outside of your left hand. And we'll switch sides. Turn the left toes out slightly. You could lower down to the back knee. You can lower onto your forearms, flex your left ankle. So toes to shin, and begin to roll onto the outer edge of your left foot. And be mindful that you're not pressing like you're forcing your right thigh bone down. Let the right thigh bone melt up. Okay, let it melt up and then softening the left hip crease. So try not to push this all the way down. Have some element of buoyancy there. For 3, shoulders from the ears, 2, and 1. Mindfully as you can, stepping it back into a regular downward facing dog. Okay, lower down to your knees and cross at your ankles, and you'll have a seat on your heels. Now you may want, we'll do 2 variations. You may want blocks here to help out. So 2 variations of scale pose. There's lolasana, there's tolasana. Is to have the hands slightly in front of the hips, or the block slightly in front of the hips. And you'll shift the hips slightly back and the upper body slightly forward. And first, have the intention of hugging your knees into your chest. So like decreasing towards, decreasing, so the feet might be on the ground, that's cool. Towards the chest, so you're decreasing the distance, is active hip flexion. So you shift the weight forward, hips slightly back, and I'm hugging my knees in towards my chest, and maybe eventually you hug your heels in towards your bottom. That's like the action we've done of like pressing your hand into your foot, activating the hamstrings, pressing the ground away. Okay, or it might be this, and that's great. And then hug the knees in, you can press through the tops of the feet. But give it a go. You'll be feeling it in your core no matter which variation you're taking. And that's all that matters. Like you're firing up, nice. And it can help to have the hands slightly in front of your hips. Good, and then you get a seat on your bottom, and we'll do a similar action. Same thing, arms, hands slightly in front of your hips. It's that act of hugging your knee into your chest like we did on our backs, and hugging in, but without using our hands. So think of like this that we did, this, and also this. That's that same firing up. So cross at your ankles. You can take the blocks. It takes some time. It can take some time to find the sweet spot, but not next to your hips. In front of your hips. In front of your hips. Yeah. And as nice, you press the hands down the hips, you pull the thigh bones back into your hip sockets and round through the spine. Press away. So press the ground away. So inhale and exhale. Press the hands down, move the hips back, hug your knees into your chest and hug your heels in. And you might be on your feet, that's okay. Lifting up, it takes a little bit of the sweet spot, to get the hips up. And then you hug your heels in towards your tush. Words, yay, way to play. Downward facing dog. We'll meet. If there's any shape that you want to keep exploring, feel free to keep on playing. Downward facing dog. Bring your feet together. Squatty dog again. Couple times, shoulders over the wrists. So squatty dog to plank. And then normal downward facing dogs. Feet hip width apart, hips up and back. Lift your heels, bend your knees, step your right foot forward. So we'll do that flow again. Crescent lunge, something familiar to land in, and also prep. Twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower the back knee down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, expand. Exhale, twist. Hug your legs together, sweep the arms up as you find center, and exhale, hands down. Left knee lifts, right arm up to the sky, twist. Right bicep over right ear, exhale. Inhale, outer right hip pulls back, spine lengthens, exhale, twist. And then both hands down to the ground, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, exhale, left foot forward. Find your crescent. Inhale, lifting up, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Think up as you lower down. Inhale, expand, exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, press the feet down, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ribs twist to the left. Hug the legs together, lift the frontal hip points, arms reach up, inhale. And exhale, hands down. Right knee lifts, left hand up. Left bicep over left ear, exhale. Inhale, outer left hip pulls back, right shoulder away from the ear. Exhale, turn your ribs to the sky. And then slowly release. Hands down, downward facing dog. Bring your feet together and squatty dog. Bring the hips back, knees out wide. Then right foot outside of right hand. Okay, so now you're gonna spin the back foot flat and take your right hand to the back of your right ankle and snuggle your right shoulder underneath your right thigh, underneath your right hip. And then take your left hand on top of the ankle, and you can take your left elbow down to the ground if that's fair and friendly for you. So some active hip opening here, and also looks like the start of some stupid human tricks. little wedding shtick here. Okay, so now you're gonna reach your booty out. So you're gonna spin your inner thighs in, back, and apart. You can watch me first. Back leg is a standing leg. And then firm and wrap. We practice a lot of this in half moon pose. The right hip to the left. So firming and wrapping, middle of right seat down and under. And do that a couple times. Woo. So you're like mindfully sweeping your hips to the right. And then firm and wrap. Outer right hip in and under. Good. Okay, let's find wrapping the outer right hip back. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Come onto your hands. Like low push-up hands. I have to keep adjusting for the mic. It's like pulling. Okay, so now there's a couple variations you could do. One, you can start to bend the elbows, sweep the right foot to the back, right heel in towards your bottom, straighten the right leg, reach more forward than you really want to. Or come down to the left knee and keep everything bent and bend. Keep everything bent and then lift up the knee. But you have to shift the weight a little more forward than you want to. The two blocks could be handy on the tall side, placed right underneath your shoulders so that you can rest your shoulders. I'll show you quickly. Yeah, as like a little, like a shoulder stand. You could take two blocks here, twist under, as like a little support here. So you could feel what it's like to lift the back leg without face planting. And then, let's see what that looks like in a picture. Cool. Take a play with that. So you have to take the front heel back. Like, so we're gonna be like here, all nice and cuddly, and I sweep my foot back. Yeah. Even lifting the foot, lifting that front foot before going onto the other side. Yeah, nice. Make sure this hand, the right hand, is to the outside. Yeah. And then bend the elbows and reach your heart forward. And we're gonna break this down in the lecture part too. You have to bend the elbows straight back like you're doing a push-up. Yeah, accept the support. So you can feel what's going on in the back leg. We're gonna do we'll do a bunch of variations after class today. Yes. You don't have to do anything. But yeah, it can be helpful. Then we'll meet in down dog. Yeah, nice. See, yeah, then you start to tilt more forward. Nice. Down dog, rinse cycle. These are project poses. Process. It's all about the process. All about the process. Okay, squatty dog. It might feel like a resting pose now. And then left foot outside of left hand. Nice. Nice transition. So in the back foot flat. We'll get nice and cozy with our hips. Left hand behind your left ankle. Snuggle your left shoulder blade back at the heart. And then right hand, left shoulder underneath the left thigh. And then right hand could come to the ankle. Right elbow could go down. Bow inward. And then let your hips sway to the left. And then firm and wrap middle of your left seat down and under. Do that a couple times. This is an active hip opening. You're firming that left hip in and back. That back leg really clear and strong. And we'll meet with the hip hugging in, and we'll find our low push-up arms. So the left hand will be more to the left of the left foot. Behind, right hand down, ball the back foot. Make sure this doesn't get stuck. Okay. And then you can begin to shift the weight forward. So I'm actually rolling onto the ball of my back foot. And then left foot to the left. And I hug my left heel in towards my tush. It's like crow pose. I bend the elbows and I reach my heart forward. Extend the left leg to the left, right leg back. And we haven't broken it down so much because it's more flow today. But the back leg is lifting like locust pose. The back leg is lifting from the right sitting bone. And it's like, yeah, it's more of like the physics of leaning more forward than you want to at first. That's why the blocks can be nice. And creating equal strength in opposing directions. And of course, there's always one side a little bit more awkward than the other. But I really like the lengthening of the front leg first, and then shifting the weight more forward, because then it's a counterbalance. Then, yeah. You reach the heart forward more, and then reach the back leg back more. We'll break it down more later. There's a great way to do this with the chair. That will have to be another session. Downward facing dog. I love doing it with the chair. Pedal it out. Move it any way that feels good to you. Okay, now you're gonna bring it into plank pose with the right knee into the chest and thread your right foot to the left. I know some of you like this one. Come onto your outer hip. Yeah, hang out here. Okay, and now you're gonna bend your elbows, reach forward like you're coming into an arm balance, lift and lengthen your legs. Opposite directions, pretty much an arm balance here. And then slowly release. Make your way into downward facing dog. And now your left knee into the chest, left foot to the right. Make a spin onto the inner edge of the back foot. Bend the elbows like you're coming into low push-up and lift and lengthen your legs. Look familiar? And then push yourself back on up and downward facing dog. Okay, walk your feet halfway forward and then walk your hands back so you come into a low squat. So bring your feet together, knees together. So many ways to sit up for this. Right hand behind you, totally twister. Left arm up, lengthen. My legs are shaking. And now twist, left elbow outside of right thigh. Left hand, left pinky in line with right pinky toe. And then the other hand, it's about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider. There is a variation where you could take the right elbow to the outer right thigh, or it's gonna be more free. Lift the hips higher than your elbows. Then bend the elbows. And as you shift the weight towards your fingertips, your chest, your upper body goes to the right. Sweep your hips and your feet to the left. And then you can play around with that shape that we just did. Bottom leg goes forward, top leg goes back. Towards. You could use the blocks as well. You could also use the blocks as a little perch underneath your feet. That way you're already higher. But it's really helpful to bring your hips higher with whether your feet are on blocks or you lift up higher than your elbows. That way you don't have to worry. But like get in nice and compact if you can. There's a couple factors here. One, it's the twist in the outer hips too. You can play around with that. Get nice and compact and make sure your hands are shoulder width apart. Yeah. Yeah, whatever crash pads. We'll play with some crash pads later. That's great. That's great. It took me some time to even get into this twisting position. Downward facing dog. This is a deep twist. It's a deep hip opener too. Downward facing dog. I'll show you with props too, another variation you can do quickly. Stretch it out. Okay, feet halfway forward, hands back, come into a squat. We'll do the other side. Feet together. Left hand behind you, lean back, reach up. My legs are shaking. It's like totally like bar class. And then right elbow outside of left thigh. You're gonna take your right pinky. So try to line up pinky with pinky towards. And then left hand down. Lift your hips higher than your elbows, really key. Then shift the weight forward into your fingertips towards. Now I turn my gaze and my upper body to the left, and I hug my legs together and sweep my hips and my feet to the right. And then this is so much more awkward for me. Woo, bottom leg forward, top leg back. There are many different ways to sit up. This is just one. Yeah, hanging out in that twist. Get the body start to feel familiar in this shape. Yeah. Woo. And we'll meet in child's pose or down dog. I'm going to show blocks really quickly for cycle boundaries. So underneath your hands is great too. If anybody who's doing the replay later can take 2 blocks. Whoever wants to do this now, also. So the outer hip. This is a nice way to feel it, to play around with this, and then bring it closer in. Yeah, so you could feel, we'll play more later with that. Ooh, I want to try. Okay, yay. Let's meet with the soles of the feet together. I think we did 4. 4 arm balances, 1 flow. We did 1. We did 1 variation. We did this one. And we did this one. There, well, that koundinyasana. There's like 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, they're all flying birds. We'll bring the soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Hands to your ankles, hug the elbows in, pull in. And if you want, you can fold forward. You can even walk the hands forward. Press the feet together and lengthen the knees away from the core of the pelvis. And slowly release, walking your hands in. And cross right ankle, or rather right shin in front of left. Inhale. Exhale, you could fold forward here as well. Walk your hands back. Left ankle, or rather left shin in front of right. Fold forward if you want. And slowly walk it back. Separate your legs, hands by your side, feet as wide as the mat. Couple windshield wipers here. Flowing bridges will meet. Feet hip width apart. Touch close to your heels, arms by your sides, palms down. About 4 to 5. That's a nice hip extension. Let's meet with the arms at the sides, lifting the hips, and then interlace your hands underneath your hips. Snuggle your shoulder blades closer into the back of your heart. And keep your hands as they are, shoulders away from the ears. You can keep your hands as they are and lower your hips down onto your forearms and your fists. Could be a nice stretch for your wrists and your forearms because they were working hard. Little chest opener. Another 3, 2, and 1. Lifting your hips enough to release your arms. Feet together, feet wide, knees together. And you can reach the arms up to the sky. Give yourself a hug. So right elbow could be on top if you want. You could do some eagle arms here. Play around with that. I like to have my elbows rest more towards my chest and then my thumbs resting on my third eye center and my forehead. And slowly release. You can open your arms wide this time. Other elbow on top. Either give yourself a hug, resting your hands just below your shoulders, towards your shoulder blades, or eagle arms and thumbs resting on your forehead or thumb. And slowly releasing, open the arms wide. You want a couple windshield wipers side to side here, and then feel free to take any other shape you feel like you need. It could be nice to keep the knees on one side, a couple cycles of breath on the other. Happy baby. Anywhere between 6 to 8 cycles of breath. We'll meet in resting pose, your favorite resting shape. That could be on your belly or on your side. As you settle into yourself, you could reflect on any insights you may have gained about yourself, about your practice. Think of anything that you can let go of that keeps you from trying and flying. Right, we use this practice, this laboratory of play on our mats to bring awareness to our habitual patterns of not only thinking, but also as beings, as moving beings. Right, so we can take that awareness and through that awareness have choice and how to take right action that meets us where we are right here, right now. Thinking of something, again, any of that stuff that keeps you from trying or flying, that could be any of the P's, performing, pleasing, also stories, self-limiting thoughts, any of those, again, without any expectations, without any judgment. This is an awareness practice. Offer up those insights to the vast ocean of consciousness. Let yourself be filled with peace and awareness as you give the weight of your body to the ground. Your bones are heavy. You're softening from the inside out as you allow your body to melt across the floor, taking up lots of space. The more support you accept, allow yourself to take up even more space. Empty the space in between your ears. Invite more space in between top and bottom teeth. You are supported no matter what process you're going through. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Bringing movement back to your fingers and your toes. Gently turning your head side to side. With awareness, bring your legs closer together as you bend your knees. Gather them into your chest with your hands or your arms in a hug of gratitude for investing this time on your mat. Roll on over to whatever side you like. Pause there. With awareness, head is the last thing to come on up to a comfortable seated position. Eyes could be closed or a soft gaze. Overlap your hands on top of your heart. Think of one thing in your life that you are grateful for, no matter how big or small. And we'll end together one cleansing breath. First, empty out all the air from your lungs. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, ha. And as always, gratitude for practicing together. May it all be a benefit to us and everybody else around us. Namaste.